And we're going to take a look at our field now because, ladies and gentlemen, we are 9 minutes and 18 seconds from the start of the 115th running of the APBA Gold Cup, and we are going to start with the U-27, the Miss Apollo. There it is. It is in the water getting ready to go. The boat is driven by the man himself, the winningest driver in the history of H1 Unlimited. He is Dave Vilwalk, 67 victories, 10 Gold Cups. He comes into this heat. He was number 7 in points when we got here this morning, and now he's number 2 with 1,264 points. Let's take a look at the next boat that's going to be on the dock because they are all there. We're going to have boats out on the water here in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. What a great shot there. Look at all the color there in a late afternoon sun. We got Jeff Bernard's boat there. Now you are looking at the U-91, the Goodman Real Estate, as Jeff Bernard walks in front of the picture there and heads on down the dock. U-91, Goodman Real Estate, Andrew Tate. There's the young man coming up there from Canton, Michigan. He's looking pretty proud right there and pretty rough and tumble. He's disappointed right now. However, he cannot let that bother him. He's got to drive that out of his head. He's just got to go out there and drive the best race he possibly can and let the chips fall where they may.
Never know what's going to happen. I mean, he had a target on his back the whole weekend. That's what happens when you qualify number 1 right off the bat.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it didn't lay out his way. He had some things, unlucky things, and had some just some problems. But here he is in second row, and like you've said, it's happened before, and it could happen again that he could win from the second row.
The U9, the Beacon Plumbing, boy, have they had a weekend. Second fastest qualifier. He has won 4 straight preliminary heats, he being Corey Peabody. And there he is looking tough. And he's feeling pretty confident, I think. Remember, since he joined Strong Racing in 2020, he has never lost on the Columbia River. And he feels he's got to have the back of his owners, Daryl and Vanessa Strong, who live just across the pond here over on the Pasco side. He takes that stuff personal. I know that man right now is riveted as far as being focused.
Well, he has had an amazing weekend. He hasn't probably thought in the last few minutes at all about the last few days because it's really all about what's right ahead of him, and he certainly has the intensity to get the job done.
Here's J. Michael Kelly's ride, the U8, his teammate of Corey Peabody, but he's a teammate until they leave the dock. There's J. Mike, a young man who's won 2 Gold Cups, would love to claim a 3rd right here on the Columbia River. He's won here before. He knows what it takes. The boat is fast. He comes in 3rd place on our points over the weekend with 1,229. If anybody can coax a win out of that boat from an inside lane, it's J. Michael Kelly.
Well, you said it. That's where he had his most success all weekend, was from the inside. He hadn't converted a win until that point, and he surprised everybody, to be honest. And so I'm sure he'll be looking for that inside lane as we get to the race.
Here's Jamie Nielsen, the driver of the U11, the Flavor Pack. Young man out of Gig Harbor, Washington. Super nice guy, great family, driving for Scott and Shannon Rainey out of Cle Elum, Washington. That is Shannon Rainey on the far right of the screen there. What would it mean for them to pick up their first ever victory as owners and to do it and basically home waters in the Tri-Cities at the APBA Gold Cup? It would be something special, but they're in it, and before you can win it, you got to be in it. They're going to be in the show.
Yeah, they certainly have as good a chance as anyone here. And like you said, we pushed the reset button, so now it's all about that start position, and he could fight that inside lane and surprise a lot of people. It
is all going to happen here very quickly. We are inside 30 seconds to the 5-minute mark. You're going to start seeing the noses tipped out toward the center of the Columbia River. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Tanner and I have been hyping this thing all weekend. I don't think there's anything else we can say. There's only one more thing to do, and that is let's go boat racing.
And talk about Gunner.
And there is Gunner right there. I was wondering if we were going to get him on a screen. Sorry, Gun Dog. We got you, buddy. U21, the Spirit of America. And this guy has just quietly had an outstanding weekend. We're inside 5 minutes. You're getting a good look there at the U21, Spirit of America. Gunnar O'Farrell going to come away from the dock. We got boats on the water. Tanner, you and I need to be out there. Let's go decide this 115th running of the APBA Gold Cup. Boats are on the water. Time to go racing. Let's go.
Well, every start so far has just been strategy tests and tuning to come up with what they can do to get that inside lane right now, or if that's really what they want. Some people just park on the inside. Some people sprint out in front and take the inside lane by force. But none of what's happened so far this weekend matters. All that matters is what they do in the next 3 minutes.
That's exactly right. Now, the one I want to watch coming away from the pit area is Dave Villwock, because Dave has been using the same start strategy every time he's come out, seemingly. He comes out and he just cruises first of all, he comes out late, and he's not out yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 of our 6 on the water. Jamie Nielsen going to come across start-finish line here at about 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Remember, he is the man who's the magic man about getting an inside lane. I'm sure he's got his radio man somewhere here on the shoreline who will be telling him where the other boats are, where Dave Villwock might be. And there you're looking at Dave. He's sitting at the dock. They are not thrashing at all. So this is part of their strategy. This is not a boat that is having trouble getting started. Dave is just sitting there, and we saw him come out late, but not this late. All a part of the strategy. We'll keep an eye on the Apollo as the other boats are out on the race course, and they are cutting back to front on the race course. Looks like they are pushing Dave out now. So he's going to come out just after the 3-minute mark, and he's going to find a lot of boats cruising up the backstretch very, very slowly.
Well, I just love it. I mean, Dave Villwock has forgotten more strategy than most of these guys will ever know. And so it's just awesome to see the old dog pull out tricks that nobody's seen in probably a long time.
So let's talk about where boats are on the race course. Jamie Nielsen sitting in lane number 1. He is up at the top end of the race course. That's the boat you see on the left side of your screen. Behind him, coming up very slowly up the backstretch, is Corey Peabody. That is Peabody. Then the third boat coming up the backstretch, there is his teammate. That is J. Michael Kelly in the U8. He's just off your screen, but he is the third boat we're pulling out there. There you see J. Michael Kelly. And then the fourth boat coming up the backstretch there is Gunnar O'Farrell. Gunnar in the Spirit of America, and now coming out of the pit area and on the race course, the last boat way down there at the bottom end, that is Dave Villwock. 2 minutes and 11 seconds, 2:10. Here comes Andrew Tate finally away from the dock. He too is coming. He is way back there. He is our trailer boat. He has to start 5 seconds behind the clock. So boats are all over the race course. Quite candidly, we haven't seen a whole lot of maneuvering going on here. Some of what I thought we were going to see, we haven't seen it. Been pretty clean so far, but lanes have not yet been determined. Now it's going to start to get dicey up here at the top end. Jamie's going to have to pick it up here a little bit, because here comes Corey Peabody, and now Jamie, you see him there on the inside. He starts to give it a little bit of gas. Corey's starting to step out a little bit wide, and teammate J. Michael Kelly just dove inside of him. So now Kelly has gotten inside of Corey Peabody. He's sitting in lane 2. This is not the start. This is the score up. They've got to stay behind start finish line at 1:15. That's going to be a little close this time, but they're going to be okay. J. Michael Kelly the first across. This is going to be interesting. Right now, J. Michael Kelly is sitting in lane number 2. Corey is sitting in 3. Villwock is sitting in 4. And coming across the start-finish line right now is Andrew Tate. I don't think you're going to see anybody change lanes at this point, because it's going to be 2. Unless you see J. Michael Kelly. He might make a move. Can he come over? His radio man's got to be telling. And he did. He did. He moved over on Jamie Nielsen. It looked like Jamie Nielsen went across the wake. We'll find out better as they close up to them here, but I think Kelly has put himself in lane number 1. He has indeed. Nielsen is sitting in 2. Then it's Peabody in 3. There goes Gunnar on the far outside up toward the top of the race course, and in lane number 4 will be Dave Villwock. The clock says 20 seconds. Nice move by JMK to get that inside lane, Tanner.
Oh, it sure was. We talked about how critical that was for him. He's comfortable on the inside. As we come down to 12 seconds, they're about 3 seconds early around that corner. This is going to be super tight at the line.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. I don't know if my clock is legal, and if my clock is right, we'll let the start is under review, because it looked like maybe we had a couple across. Oh my goodness. And Andrew Tate comes across. Now, first boat to get down to the lower end of the race course, J. Michael Kelly. He broke the clock, but was it early? And I think he's got Corey coming with him. Yeah, that's Corey coming off the corner. So it is J. Michael Kelly on the inside. He's opened up about a half a rooster tail lead, and I believe that is Corey Peabody that's running with him. I'll tell you, you what, our third place boat right now up the backstretch is Gunnar O'Farrell. He is running in third. Philwalk is pulling up alongside of him in fourth, and then it's Jamie Nielsen back in fifth on the inside. Kelly took a big hop at the top end, but he got her back down. Kelly taking a tight line. Kelly's driving the daylights out of it, Tanner. He's getting a rough ride, but he's really pushing.
He sure is. The water's rougher than he's seen so far, but he is absolutely, he sees that he's got clean water in front of him and absolutely floored, foot to the floor, as his teammate tries to redo what he did in the third heat, which is got to move on past him. But I got to be honest with you, I feel like 3 or 4 boats might have been early. We could have Gunnar in the lead at this point.
We really could, and I don't know how accurate our clock is. We have been off before, but usually we are dead on. So we will just wait until we hear from the officials. We are on lap 2 of 5. J. Michael Kelly up the backstretch now. He's got almost a full rooster tail on Corey Peabody, and this is kind of shocking me because JMK is showing some real speed. We heard talk of a brand new special motor for the weekend. Is that what he's running out there? If it is, it's working.
Well, I don't know. He's coming into that section where he got bucked before. Smoother water this time around. Corey's really got to, he does take a little bit of flight there on the exit. Corey's got to really start getting his exits out of these corners to maximize the straightaway speed. Meanwhile, there's a race for third back there still, as we have Nielsen battling it out with Super Dave, and the Goodman Real Estate still trailing back.
Our race is out front, and it is the 2 strong boats, and they have really opened up water on the field. They are way down, but again, our start is under review. That's right there in big block letters. And now Corey Peabody has pulled up. He's made some ground up on his teammate, J. Michael Kelly. They are teammates, yes, but they race individually. They are not buddies right now, but Corey is running right with him. The question is going to be the start, but also the question is going to be which one of these two. Peabody closing on his buddy JMK up the backstretch. There you get a look at both boats from the drone. Corey really closing on him now. This is going to be a good run down the front straightaway. They are on lap 3 of 5. There's J. Michael at the top end. There comes Corey right with him. Tanner, this is going to be a good run down to complete lap number 3.
Incredibly tight match as Corey gains on him. He gained at least 3 boat lengths in that last lap, and he's gaining on him down this back straightaway. If he does that again in lap 4, it's going to be really close on the start and finish line.
J. Michael Kelly really is flying the boat. The boat is way out of the water.
Coming into the top of the track, you can see the wake is just bigger than it has been before, as Corey's dealing with that wake a lot better. But Corey makes the pass on the back straightaway, builds that speed. J. Michael Kelly, of course, will have that inside lane going into the top of the course.
Good job, Tanner, up the backstretch. About a 3 boat length lead for Corey Peabody. Again, the big question, is it legal? There is question about that. The start remains under review. Our officials are up above us on the right, and they are going to be looking at the film. They will get it to us as soon as they possibly can. Now it's Corey off the top. He's going to come down. We'll see what kind of a flag he gets. He should get a white flag this time. Should be the white flag. It flies. Even if they jump the gun, it would still be a white flag because it's a 1-minute penalty, not a 1-lap penalty. Kelly hanging right with him now. Tanner doesn't want to let him go.
He sure is. I mean, he's just one skip away. J. Michael Kelly's just one skip away in the water from regaining the lead here. You know, he could pressure his teammate here on the inside, but very respectful between these two. But man, we've got Super Dave sticking it to Nielsen actually, with almost a full rooster lead for third.
Coming off the bottom end of the race course on the 5th and final time around, Corey Peabody now has opened up almost a full rooster tail on teammate J. Michael Kelly, but the question still remains, was the start legal? It appeared as though we had some jumpers. It appears as though some of the boats may have been a little anxious, but we're going to call them the way they are on the water, and the way they are on the water right now is Strong Racing running 1-2, and Corey Peabody is going to come down and apparently collect a victory, at least on the water, in the APBA Gold Cup for 2025. Peabody across first, then it's J. Michael Kelly in second, and we've got a whale of a race coming for third. Up at the top end of the race course, Jamie Nielsen is driving the daylights out of the U11, the flavor pack. He is on the inside trying to run down Dave Philwalk, but Dave Philwalk is going to come home in third place in the Miss Apollo, the U27. He comes across the start-finish line. Jamie Nielsen with a great run in our final heat, and our 5th boat across the line, Andrew Tate. He was able to pull up on Gunnar and get past him. Gunnar will come home in 6th, but hold everything, because we are awaiting to hear what the situation was with the start. We knew the start was close. We knew the start was under review.
I'll be honest, at the beginning there, it looked like that entire front row was over except Gunnar. And if that was the case, Andrew Tate's spotter would have been telling him, look, just in case you need to get by Gunnar, because he was settled back until 2 laps to go, and then he pushed to get by Gunnar, and he did it before the start-finish line, because those may be top finishing positions there right at the back of the field.
Well, you are exactly right. As we said before we came out here, anything can happen. J. Michael Kelly made another loop, and he came back here from, if our clock was right, it looked to me like JMK and I don't know who else.
Well,
like you said, it looked like a bunch.
It looked like the first 3 or 4, but you know, where we're sitting, we're just slightly off angle of the start-finish line, but we're getting indications that at least 3 boats have jumped. 3 boats, 8, 9, and 21. That's unofficial. We'll wait for Brad. He's obviously the official voice, but that changes things up.
Yeah, apparently we are told officially the U8, the Beacon Electric, the U9, the Beacon Plumbing, and the 21, the Spirit of America with Gunnar O'Farrell, all jumped the clock. If that is the case, the next boat across the line was Super Dave Villwalk, and he had the flavor pack with him the whole time. Could this possibly be maybe the biggest story we've had in the sport in a number of years? This would be quite a moment. It's not official yet. The officials are still reviewing the racing on the water because there could be other. Here's the replay of the start. Let's take a look. This is top end of the race course. Oh, great. We got the clock up there.
Gunnar on the outside, sure enough.
Gunner's the lead boat coming off the top end of the race course. So here they come. Now, Kelly on the inside is going to really give it a squirt, because I don't think there was any question if there were gun jumpers that he jumped. Kelly's going to come into the screen from the left. Now he's on the far right. It's tough to see. There's the buoy down there in the right corner. Boom. And so the first 3 boats across the line were the 8, the 9, and the 21. So here is another look at it. My goodness, we could be sitting on an incredible story here, Tanner. Could Dave Villwalk, after all these years, get victory number 68? Could he get his 11th Gold Cup and tie Chip Hanauer for the record for the most Gold Cup wins? We could have a heck of a story developing here. Here's the drone shot. Boats coming down. It's tough to see from here. It would be.
They should be at 9 seconds at this buoy, and here they're still at 12 seconds. So this was, I mean, an indicator that it was going to be tight. Somebody was going to have to lift.
Somebody was going to have to pull their foot. And there's the buoy down there, and boom. Oh, here we go. Now this is good. If we can just click this forward, you got 0.7 of a second there, and it has to show the hash marks. You're not at 0 until you see hash marks on the clock. So if we can click that forward, oh boy, look at that.
Boy, maybe Nielsen also.
How about Nielsen? But you clearly have got 2 boats across right there. Dead center in the middle, that's Corey Peabody. He's not across yet. Now it's a legal start.
Boom.
And there it is, right there. You've got the dash marks. Wow, great work by the guys in the truck, because you've got 2 legal starters there. The flavor pack, the U11, that's the yellow boat in lane 2, and Dave Villwalk out there in lane 4. Great work in the truck of getting a good shot of that. Erica is ready with Dave Villwalk. Let's go down there. Erica Allreed, take it away with Super Dave.
In a wild turn of events, you are now listed as our winner pending final inspection. With this win, you would officially tie Chip Hanauer in the all-time Gold Cup victory win list. Based on the emotion we saw from you as you learned the news, is it safe to say the 11th is just as sweet?
Oh, it is. I can remember when I went to work with Hanauer, and he'd won, I think, 40-some races at the time, and I thought, how would a guy ever win 40 of these things? And then when I made it to 67 and now 68, and to match Chip's 11 Gold Cups, one of the beat me, it's a special time for the Ratchford family. This entire organization that's been put together in a hurry, but what a great group of people. Taylor Evans, he was a protege helping on Billy Schumacher's boat in 2013. He was mowing the lawn over in Issaquah, and he came over to help me in the afternoons after work. And he's got a love for hydroplanes, and he's been working hard for 10 years to be lucky one day. And that's when I left the truck. I said, it's time to go make some magic happen. And that's what we did.
That you did indeed. And as I just went to grab you, you were celebrating with your team, taking pictures, and Bruce could just not believe it. He has to be over the moon.
Yeah, well, he's a huge fan of the sport. Bruce and I were both sheet metal workers back when he started, and we share that, and it's just a super relationship. And to be able to put together this team of people to run both of these boats. 91 had great luck in Madison. I didn't. We had better luck here. They didn't. But as a team, we're trying to put our best foot forward every day and represent the Apollo team and the Goodman team as the best we possible can. It's very much a family culture, and Bruce is all about people, and we're so lucky to have such great people.
Dave, thank you so much for the time. It was such an honor and such a treat to witness that one. Congratulations.
Well, it'll be fun to grab on that Gold Cup again, won't it? It's been a while.
We look forward to seeing that. Back to you guys.
I thought that was pretty good. It has been a while since he's glommed on to the APBA Gold Cup. That was a great interview, Erica. You did a terrific job with that. And I could tell, I've gotten to know Dave much better over the last 3 or 4 years. I could tell he was touched a little bit by the whole thing. He's got some emotion in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's you see how far back it goes. I mean, back from his first job in the industry, and now to tie that person he worked for wins here, and then to have a chance in his career at 71 years old to look back and as a racer, you can never get complacent, can never really be satisfied with where you are. Otherwise, you might as well just stop racing.
Correct.
But sometimes it's good, especially in these moments, 10 minutes after a win. Just for 10. After 11, you got to start thinking about next weekend. But for 10 minutes after a win, just to think, wow, that's awesome. We've done a lot of stuff. And, I mean, he certainly has.